Welcome to Stars Files News. Today we're unveiling a secret that Paul Newman kept close to his heart for decades, a list that reveals more about beauty than Hollywood ever wanted you to know. Picture this: a man with the bluest eyes cinema has ever seen. A legend who had every woman in America at his feet. Married for 50 years to the same woman in an industry where marriages collapse faster than film credits roll. And yet, he saw something in 8 women that made them absolutely unforgettable. Not just their faces, not just their bodies. Something deeper, something dangerous, something that would change how you see beauty forever. This isn't about the prettiest actresses. This is about the women who detonated rooms. The women who made men forget their own names. The women who understood power in a way Hollywood never taught them. Because Newman didn't just look at women. He understood them. And what he understood will shake everything you think you know about what makes a woman truly beautiful. For decades, Paul Newman was Hollywood's ultimate standard. That face, that presence, that unforgettable loyalty to his wife, Joanne Woodward. The famous line everyone remembers, "Why go out for a hamburger when you have steak at home?" But here's what most people missed. Newman wasn't blind. He was observant. Dangerously observant. A longtime friend who knew him for over 40 years revealed something shocking. Newman understood women in a way most men simply don't. He didn't just see surface beauty. He saw character, intelligence, the unique qualities that made certain women truly unforgettable. In his later years, after working alongside the most stunning women in film history, Newman occasionally shared private insights. Not the typical Hollywood assessments. Something far more revealing. He created a list. 8 women. 8 different kinds of beauty that transcended the obvious. Subscribe to Stars Files News to reach 10K subscribers, because what comes next will change how you see Hollywood forever. But that was just the beginning. Because when you look at this list, you realize something disturbing. These weren't the women with the most perfect faces. They were the women with the most dangerous power. And Newman, he saw exactly what that power was. Number 1 wasn't a surprise. It was a statement. Joanne Woodward, his wife of 50 years. The woman who kept Hollywood's most desired man faithful in an industry built on betrayal. But here's the twist everyone missed. Newman didn't stay faithful because he was noble. He stayed faithful because he found something in Joanne that no other woman could match. Her beauty wasn't loud, it was permanent. Newman once revealed in a rare moment of candor. The first time you met her, you'd think, yes, she's very attractive. The 10th time, you'd realize you were in the presence of someone extraordinary. Intelligence, artistic integrity, a beauty that evolved rather than faded. A director who worked with both explained, Paul appreciated that Joanne was beautiful without being defined by her beauty. She was an Oscar winner before he was. That combination of talent and beauty created something Paul found endlessly fascinating. But their marriage wasn't perfect. Newman's drinking created tensions. The death of their son Scott in 1978 tested everything. And yet, even in their 70s, Newman would look at Joanne across a room with absolute wonder. Not nostalgia, appreciation for who she was at every age. That's the first truth about beauty Newman understood. It deepens with time, or was never real to begin with. From his wife, Newman's list moved to Hollywood royalty. Literally, Grace Kelly, the woman who became a princess. But not because of her title. Newman worked with Kelly in 1958 on The Left-Handed Gun. What he saw changed his understanding of presence forever. She looked like silence in a loud room, Newman reportedly told a friend. Grace didn't need to raise her voice or make dramatic entrances. She simply existed with such perfect clarity that everything around her seemed slightly disordered. Here's what makes this revelation powerful. Most beautiful women commanded attention. Kelly simply existed, and attention came to her. That's not beauty. That's power in its purest form. A film historian revealed Newman's assessment. He said Grace Kelly was the only actress he knew who seemed more natural as a princess than as a movie star. Her inherent dignity was so genuine that assuming royal duties seemed like natural evolution. Want to know who else made this shocking list? Subscribe now, you won't believe number 3. But Kelly represented control, composure, elegance, Newman's next choice was the complete opposite. And this is where the story gets explosive. Elizabeth Taylor, the woman who didn't enter rooms. She detonated them. While Grace Kelly was silence, Elizabeth Taylor was volcanic intensity. And Newman? He found both equally compelling. Newman admired her intensity and her violet eyes, recalled a producer who worked with both stars. Elizabeth was all passion and presence. She owned her beauty in a way that was almost challenging, daring you to look away when you knew you couldn't. But here's what separated Taylor from every other beauty of her era. She lived publicly. Her multiple marriages, her health struggles, her weight fluctuations, her passionate causes, everything on full display. Paul had tremendous respect for how Elizabeth never hid the challenging parts of her life, explained a mutual friend. He found that authenticity extremely beautiful. Newman once said Elizabeth was the only star who seemed to actually enjoy growing older. In an industry that discarded women past their prime, Taylor continued commanding respect through every phase of her life. That's the second truth Newman understood. Beauty with courage behind it creates something unforgettable. From American intensity, Newman turned to international glamour. Sophia Loren, the Italian actress who conquered Hollywood without ever becoming part of it. Newman worked with Loren in 1967's Lady L. What struck him, hanged everything. He once said she had the kind of face that makes you forget your name, recalled a crew member. But Sophia wasn't just physically beautiful. She had this extraordinary confidence, this absolute comfort in her own skin. Unlike American actresses who shrunk themselves to fit Hollywood's thin ideal, Loren proudly maintained her curvaceous figure, her Italian accent, her passionate approach to life. Every man in the room was irrelevant when she walked in, Newman reportedly commented. What made Sophia extraordinary wasn't just how she looked. It was that she never seemed to need anyone's approval. Subscribe to Stars Files News for more Hollywood secrets, because what comes next reveals the most revolutionary beauty of all. Brigitte Bardot, the French actress who broke every rule Hollywood created. Newman said Bardot had that raw, undone look, like the rules didn't apply to her, recalled a friend. She wasn't polished, she was hypnotic. Before Bardot, beautiful actresses were products of meticulous studio management. Every hair in place, makeup precisely applied, movements carefully choreographed. Bardot introduced something dangerous, spontaneity, natural sensuality. A woman living for her own pleasure rather than for audience approval. She moved like someone who had forgotten the camera was there, explained a film historian. That unself-consciousness created a completely different kind of appeal. Audrey Hepburn. In an era dominated by voluptuous figures, Hepburn's slender frame and ballerina-like grace created something Newman found fascinating. While most Hollywood beauty demanded attention, Audrey's had this remarkable quality of drawing you in, noted someone who worked with both actors. Her presence operated as an invitation rather than a declaration. Newman praised her eyes that looked like they'd seen another world, a combination of wartime childhood experience and innate depth that created extraordinary appeal. She didn't flirt, she floated, Newman reportedly commented. Most beautiful women moved as if aware of the effect they created. Audrey moved with remarkable lightness, like someone dancing through life. Lauren Bacall, the most dangerous woman in a cocktail dress. At just 19 in her first film, Bacall projected absolute certainty. That voice, those eyes, the famous look with chin lowered and eyes raised. Lauren had this remarkable ability to enter a room and immediately establish herself as a force to be reckoned with, noted someone who observed their interactions. Her power came from intelligence, wit, and absolutely unshakable sense of self. Newman reportedly said, she didn't try to be beautiful. She tried to win, and did. Finally, Ali MacGraw, the 1970s actress who represented beauty's evolution. He praised her rawness and vulnerability, recalled a director. Ali arrived when audiences were tired of artifice and hungry for authenticity. Newman said she had eyes that made men rethink their entire lives. Her emotional transparency created something earlier, more guarded actresses couldn't achieve. She looked like heartbreak before it happened, Newman reportedly commented. Most beautiful actresses work to conceal vulnerability. Ali made vulnerability her strength. So here's what Newman's list really reveals. True beauty isn't about perfect features. It's about the integration of appearance with authentic character, intelligence, courage, confidence, vulnerability, evolution. These 8 women weren't just pretty faces. They were complete human beings whose beauty reflected something genuine about who they truly were. Newman understood what Hollywood never wanted to admit. The most compelling beauty operates on multiple levels simultaneously. And his 50-year devotion to Joanne Woodward? That proved his ultimate point. Real beauty deepens rather than diminishes with time and shared experience. But here's what we still don't know. Were there other women who almost made this list? What qualities do they lack that these 8 possessed? And in today's Hollywood, where beauty standards have shifted again, would Newman's list look different? Or did he understand something timeless that transcends every era? One thing's certain, Paul Newman saw beyond surfaces to appreciate the extraordinary complexity of the women who crossed his path. And maybe that's the real secret to his legendary blue eyes. They didn't just see beauty, they understood it. If you made it this far, you already know something deeper than Hollywood ever taught you about what makes someone truly unforgettable. So tell me in the comments, which of these 8 women do you find most compelling and why? Subscribe to Stars Files News because legends like Newman understood truths about beauty that we're only beginning to discover.